I'm doing good, thanks.
Good.
This is all my work.
And you must be Mike.
I am.
It's not from here.
No, but the window lettering says Art of the San Juans, and down the bottom and fine print it says and other cool places.
And other cool places. I love it.
All right, let me explain to you what I did here. I was painting from the image on the computer, which I've got on the screen there for you to see. And I had a few customers came in, so you got in on that. Now I've got liquid that I use, which is a drying agent. It helps the oils dry a little faster. There's my brush wash, the pot for washing my brushes out. I've got my standard palette here today: French ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, titanium white, yellow ochre, that's a cad yellow, and then orangish looking one is a beautiful Michael Harding Indian red. And then I have some alizarin crimson right here, and then burnt sienna and sap green. There's Viridian, but Viridian green, which I probably won't use today. So the whole idea here was that these areas here were in shadow, so they're going to be a little darker. And then I've got bright sunlight coming down through them. Aspen trees in the back, a big trunk of one right in here somewhere. A little mining house cabin from up Ironton Park, which is not far from here, just up the road from Ouray. And so what I'm doing is, this is all blocked in with liquid. So that's gonna dry up a little bit, come back to this in a couple hours, and I can start applying some more paint. Okay, here we are again. I had full intentions of finishing this painting the other day and doing it in one setting, which is also known as alla prima. But I got busy with customers and one thing led to another, and I didn't make it, or didn't get it done. But I'm at this point, which is fine, because we're really at a point here where there's some decision making that needs to be made. And essentially what I'm talking about is whether I should put a high degree of finish on it. In other words, a lot of detail, or keep things somewhat impressionistic. And I think that's probably what I'm more interested in doing. This is, if you remember, I used Liquin the other day, the drying agent. Let's see, well, there it is. And so consequently, the paint's all dry, which can be good or bad. But let's see what we come up with here. I think I'm going to start by lightening the sky here. What you've got is the light. As you look off into the distance, it's lighter. It's darker as you look up this way, darker blue. And you can kind of see that in the image that I've got posted that I'm painting from. And that will translate to more of a dome effect. So let's get that started, and then we'll kind of go from there. Again, I've got my Liquin. I don't know if you can see that. Little cobalt blue. Yeah. And it won't hurt to put a little wet paint in here, because that's ultimately is going to help with the rest of the painting and applying the paint, I should say.
Daily?
Well, every day except Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
I've got honeydew chores I gotta take care of.
Yeah, it's hard to be here 7 days a week. Well, I would imagine weekends are pretty busy.
And then that also gives me an opportunity to get out and go paint. Take a day or two, go fishing or something fun to do. So that little oil just to your left, right up front. See the style with that? That's what I'm trying to emulate here. That's what I'm hoping to wind up with. This is kind of turned out neat. I like this idea. So get a little more color, and everything just so green. I gotta try to break that up a little bit, and some of these darks will work well with some of that alizarin crimson or magenta. So I am going to just put a little color in with the brush just to kind of speed things up here. It's always a good idea, if you can, to try to keep your darks thin. A little bit of transparency to them. Not always possible, but that's what we like to try to do. Yeah, I think it's about time I start getting a little shape on that building. Kind of get that taken care of. Because here's some pretty thick paint going on here in places where I use that palette knife, and that's fine. That's good. It's what I wanted. But I want to see, this comes out here, but then there's also some of it over there. So let's clean the brush out a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is mix up some a dark, some burnt sienna, and French ultramarine blue. And then I'm going to get some liquid in there. Now these darks in the photograph, over there and over here, are going to be darker probably than they actually were if I was painting this on location. So I'm not going to make them quite that dark. See how that works? It's kind of just a suggestion of that shed. Or that's what I'm calling it anyway. I'd have to go back up there to see what that actually is, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. Very good. This is an old fallen down. Well, it's not fallen down, but it's falling down. There's a bunch of foliage in front of this. By just dragging my brush across here. Yeah, so that worked well. Okay, now I'm gonna clean my brush out. I've got my palette knife. And I'm just kind of dragging some paint. See there? So we've got a little bit of nondescript stuff going on back here. Just a whole lot of mottled stuff going on here. There's some pretty solid green in here that we want to get that laid in. See, I'm not literally painting as such. I'm just kind of scrubbing color in. I'm trying to emulate what it would have been like if I'd have been out on location painting. And economy of brush strokes and things kind of happening in a, well, I don't want to say quick manner, but probably happening a little sooner as opposed to later. And I'll stay relatively true to the painting or the photograph, but I'm more interested in using it as inspiration. I'm gonna leave it off. In fact, I'll take it off the video, and we won't refer to it anymore for right now. I may come back to it at some point, but this way I won't quite he's attempted to be a slave to the photograph. I said these are pretty dark, and I think I can probably lighten it up a little bit. Remember how I said that it's easier to lighten a dark than to darken a light? So it's a whole lot easier to lighten these up, these dark spots, than it would be if I was going to try to darken some of this light stuff. That you talk about mud. Now I do remember there's something that's causing this shadow right in here, and I think what there was a fir tree. And I think we'll get one of those put in. Hang on just a second. You see, I've got this dark pile here, and there's some sap green, so I'm going to add some dark or some green into this dark, and let's see what we'll get. Now, you tell me in the comments. I'd really like to hear from you about whether this impressionism is going to work or not, or whether you'd like to see a more detailed, finely rendered. So I've got this little brush right here. Yeah, it's not going to focus. Anyway, I'm picking up some of this color here because what I want to use that for is yeah, I do have the shakes. All right. Let's get some aspen trunks in there. I'm going to clean this palette up a little bit and try to get into some aspen trunk color. How's that? Okay, so I mentioned my maul stick, and I'll show you how I use it and what it is. So, you see that? It's a back scratcher. But this is what I use it for. So now I can get in there, and that'll steady my hand as I draw these tree trunks in. Now, I think I've got what I want in here, and part of what we need to do is add some of these little branches that come out, and they don't need a steady hand for that. It's better if you don't, and they stay wiggly. So I get some of these just stuff. You know, you look out across any given area, and there's all kinds of leaves and branches and twigs, broken color. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Huh? Did that work out pretty good? I'm not sure I'm real happy with this roof, this gable here, but again, it's supposed to be impressionistic. I don't want to put a whole lot of finish into it. That would defeat the purpose. Just trying to keep it rustic. And I think this I got. This may be the best part of the whole painting, in my opinion. All right. Now comes the important part. See, if my wife was here now, she would be looking over my shoulder and she'd say, quit before you ruin it. Forget who it was, Hawthorne or somebody said that quickest way to ruin a painting is to just say, well, let me try this. That might be helping. And this is a porch roof that comes out, so I need to put a little light on that. There, how's that? Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I like it. Let me know what you think down in the comments there. Tell me what your feelings on the matter are, and I'll read them. I'll address them. So I've been looking at this little painting, and as usual, I thought I was done with it. But a very important element that I did not consider is these trees. The foliage on some of these is just a little too thick, too solid, too much. Needs some what we call sky holes, some light coming through. So I'm going to mix up a little of the sky color. think I better quit before I mess it up, huh? Leave well enough alone, as my wife would say. All right. There you go. Thanks for watching, folks. And remember to stay curious, my friends. I'll see you out there somewhere.